Diddy's legal team has just filed a motion claiming he lacked the mental capacity to commit the crimes he's being accused of. Meanwhile, Usher is reportedly preparing to testify against him and is expected to be subpoenaed to appear in the upcoming trial. This development suggests that, following Cassie's involvement, more high-profile celebrities may take the stand. Adding to Diddy's legal troubles, the judge has denied his request to delay the trial, and a crucial piece of evidence is currently under investigation. These mounting challenges could bring Diddy to his knees. There's a lot to unpack, so let's break it all down.
According to Diddy's defense, what he's saying is that his mental capacity to commit the crimes while he was wasted is part of why he's saying, he should not be charged in these crimes. He even has a doctor who is lined up to testify. Now, prosecutors have filed their opposition to this line of testimony. Basically, they're saying he has a mental condition bearing on the issue of guilt. So I don't know what he's trying to pull here.
Right. But which crime is he saying he did?
I guess what he's saying is the effects of the drugs and alcohol on his memory and cognitive function. They're saying his defense is trying to say because of that, he shouldn't be held liable for what happened. So I don't know. This should be interesting to see how this plays out. Prosecutors also want to block testimony of a forensic video expert that says that video was basically altered. That's what Diddy
Which video? The Cassie
with
video?
Cassie, yes. Yes. So the trial starts, by the way, in just a week. So we're getting ready for that to happen.
Diddy's legal team seems to have realized there's no way to completely shield him from jail time. So now they're shifting tactics. According to court documents, a motion filed by Diddy's attorneys on Sunday, April 27th, claims that his actions were the result of diminished mental capacity due to the influence of drugs and alcohol. In short, they're arguing that Diddy was too intoxicated to understand that what he was doing was wrong. If the court accepts this motion, it could drastically reduce his liability, and possibly allow him to walk away from the most serious consequences.
All be attacked on cross-examination. Their character will be impugned. They will attack the victims for not coming forward until Cassie Ventura came forward. How do you fix that? You find an outcry witness. What is an outcry witness? An outcry witness is someone the victim told about their at the time. So 10 years ago, I told you Sean Combs raped me at this party. I told you that then, but I never made a police report. That adds credibility to the victim's statement. So a lot of victims are going to be attacked because they continued in a seemingly friendly relationship with Combs. A lot of women do that. Your boss makes advances on you unwanted. What do? Quit and starve? There's a lot of reasons women maintain a relationship with the rapist. So we may lose credibility on a couple of witnesses, but the sheer number of them, I find it hard to believe that a jury will choose to disbelieve all of these ladies and choose to believe Sean Combs.
So it looks like they're going to try and say that Diddy's mental capacity could not make it possible for him to commit these crimes, claiming that maybe drugs or alcohol could have been at fault. Apparently, a couple of weeks ago, the prosecution offered Diddy a plea deal, which he turned down. We don't know the details of what that plea deal entailed, but he said he's not taking it. This is coming after they've added additional charges, like the second superseding indictment. You know that Cassie video where you see Diddy dragging her in a hotel from 2016? The judge says that it can be included after Diddy's defense team had been trying to have it not included. So according to People magazine, they said prosecutors recently filed a motion disputing any testimony that might show that Sean Diddy Combs didn't have, quote, the mental capacity to commit the crimes he's accused of because of the effects of drugs or alcohol. The motion filed on April 27th references apparent testimony from a psychiatrist on behalf of the defense and asked the judge to prevent his testimony during Combs' trial.
This latest motion follows 4 previous failed attempts by Diddy's legal team to suppress key evidence and dismiss expert testimonies. His attorneys argued that the so-called freak-off tapes and other materials, like baby oil, recovered from his mansion were obtained illegally, claiming that the search warrants weren't properly authorized. They pushed to have this evidence thrown out as inadmissible. However, Judge Arun Subramanian ruled that all submitted evidence is admissible in court. Now, with that decision in place, there's a real possibility that the infamous tapes could be played publicly during the trial.
Now, Deshaun Diddy Combs, looking to suppress evidence in his federal trial. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is back with the story. Good morning again, Aaron.
And to you, Michael. You'll remember federal agents from Homeland Security investigations were hardly shy when they raided Sean Combs' opulent homes in Los Angeles and Miami, guns drawn. The jailed music mogul now argues those searches and other searches of his iCloud accounts, electronic devices, and New York City hotel room following his arrest were unconstitutional. His lawyers argue evidence obtained through those searches must be suppressed. Diddy's lawyers say the government presented a grossly distorted picture of reality when applying for the search warrants, omitting certain facts and including salacious details from an unnamed producer that were never credible. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering conspiracy, trafficking, and prostitution charges. The defense is also arguing here his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, was a willing participant in drug-fueled sex performances called freak-offs, not coerced, as prosecutors allege. This latest challenge to his case comes 3 months before trial, and as Combs loses one of his attorneys, Anthony Rico says under no circumstances can he continue to represent Combs. He offered no details about that decision, Robin.
Okay. Our thanks to you, Aaron.
To make matters worse for Diddy, his motion to exclude the video showing him assaulting Cassie has also been denied. First released by CNN, the footage shows Diddy violently attacking Cassandra Ventura and dragging her by the hair. His legal team has repeatedly attempted to have the video removed from evidence, now arguing that the footage has been edited in a way that unfairly portrays Diddy. According to them, the original recording is over 30 minutes long, and the edited version, being significantly shorter, should be considered inadmissible. However, the court has so far rejected these arguments.
Combs wants that video or videos excluded from trial, and for that, we turn to his motion in limine to exclude video footage of that March 5th, 2016 incident. Motion in limine is a pretrial motion that aims at preventing evidence from coming into trial or limiting it in some way. And it starts by saying, quote, "There is no longer any dispute that the CNN footage from March 5th, 2016 at the Intercontinental Hotel offered by the government at 3 separate bail hearings is wholly inaccurate, having been altered, manipulated, sped up, and edited to be out of sequence. As indicated below, CNN paid Redacted, don't know who this person is, Redacted, for footage, copied that footage in unknown ways, presented that footage out of order, and destroyed the original. Accordingly, all the footage from CNN is inaccurate and inadmissible. As for the 2 items of footage filmed by an iPhone 6, those pieces of footage are inaccurate and inadmissible as well for the reasons set out below." Now
Let's talk about the showdown in the courtroom over the bombshell video allegedly showing Sean Diddy Combs beating his then girlfriend Cassie Ventura.
Now, Diddy's lawyers are arguing to exclude the footage from the rapper's upcoming sex trafficking trial. Legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer joins us now with more on what this could mean for the high-profile case. So good to have you. Okay, so they want this video left out. What's their argument for this?
So Mark Agnifilo, Sean Combs' attorney, is arguing that, you probably hear this phrase, this is not a true and accurate representation of what the video depicts. He's saying a number of arguments that the CNN had taken this video and sped it up. They kind of chopped it up into this montage, and it's not accurate. He's also making the allegation that the original video no longer exists. And so because this isn't accurate, the jury shouldn't see it. And according to Diddy's attorneys, because the original doesn't exist or it's been tampered with, no video such as this should be presented to the jury.
So what is CNN saying about these claims?
So CNN has come out and said, we did not alter it. We did not change anything. And in fact, they're saying that they do have the original as well. So on multiple levels, Sean Combs' argument kind of falls flat, because if it is sped up, and I think there is some degree of it's being sped up, if the original still exists, that can still be used as evidence against Sean Combs, not necessarily to the allegations of trafficking, RICO conspiracy, or the transportation purpose of prostitution, but to show that this is a force that it was used to keep victim number 1, who we believe to be Cassie in this video, under his control for the purpose of trafficking and this RICO conspiracy.
As we dig deeper into this case, it becomes increasingly clear that the total number of victims could potentially reach into the thousands.
The allegations implicate dozens of unidentified witnesses and allege co-conspirators around the world, and some of the key witnesses to the supposed incidents are dead. basically meaning how can we defend against it? The defense is not even permitted to share the identities of the individuals described in the disclosure letter with Mr. Combs until April 18th, further hampering defense counsel's ability to investigate. Collectively, these new allegations require many months, if not years, to investigate, and if admitted, would require a series of mini-trials certain to double the length of a trial the government originally said would last 3 weeks. So this is an explosive allegation that on its face, I don't know if I necessarily disagree with. If they are bringing in evidence of uncharged conduct, wouldn't the defense have an opportunity to investigate it and challenge it? It seems like they're making a point. So if this evidence is allowed in, there is a chance this could delay the trial significantly. We all know Combs wants to go to trial, but how can he properly defend himself against this in just a few weeks?
This is the real reason Diddy's legal team walked away. They realized there was no way to win this case and weren't willing to risk their reputations on such a high-profile abuse trial. Through over 20 years of representing Diddy, the law firm Grubman, Shire, Mycelas & Sachs has also severed ties with him. The evidence was overwhelming, and his attorneys quickly understood that Diddy's fate was sealed, with jail time looking increasingly inevitable.
Sean Diddy Combs' legal team is getting a little smaller. As the rap mogul's defense team prepares for his May trial on sex trafficking charges, his attorney Anthony Rico respectfully but regrettably requested to be dismissed from his role, according to documents obtained by NBC News. Rico, who is one of 6 attorneys on the case, requested in the February 21st filing to withdraw as representation because, quote, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the ABA standards for criminal justice. The motion continues, quote, while I'm aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted only upon a showing by affidavit or otherwise of satisfactory reasons for withdrawal, there are sufficient reasons related to the protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for withdrawal as counsel in this case.
So the high-powered law firm of Grubman, Shire, Mycelas & Sachs has dropped Combs as a client. Now, this is the firm of Alan Grubman, who is a very prominent entertainment lawyer that represents some very big names. The Weeknd, Madonna, Chris Brown, Paul Simon, Usher, Bruce Springsteen. In fact, by the way, Alan Grubman was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He actually helped found that back in the 1980s. So, gives you an idea about how big of a powerhouse this firm is. Now let's go back to Sean Combs. So the rumor circulating is that this firm did this because singer and actress Lady Gaga had threatened to leave the firm unless they parted ways with Combs. This is according to reporting by News Nation. And it's a big deal because the rapper and producer had apparently been with Grubman's firm for over 20 years. He was friends with Alan Grubman by all accounts.
Diddy's attorneys are now attempting to delay the inevitable by requesting a postponement of the trial. After 3 additional victims and 2 new charges were added in a 3rd superseding indictment, his legal team has argued that they need 2 more months to properly prepare for the case.
The trial of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, a judge has denied his request to delay the proceedings, and that means jury selection could start in just weeks. ABC's Phil Lipoff is tracking this case. Good morning, Phil.
Yeah, Gio, good morning. It looks like it's going to. Sean Combs' trial date is set to go on as expected Friday. A judge ruled Combs' criminal sex trafficking trial will begin next month as scheduled after he denied the defense's request for a 2-month adjournment. The trial is set to begin May 5th with jury selection. The judge said it was unclear why there isn't sufficient time to prepare, especially since 4 different law firms are now representing him. The judge agreed, however, to allow alleged victims to testify under pseudonyms, but one star witness, Diddy's ex, Cassie Ventura, is expected to testify under her own name. She filed, you'll remember, a quickly settled civil lawsuit against Combs. The judge agreed with a defense request to receive outtakes of interviews conducted for a documentary produced by Warner Brothers. Those interviews were conducted with potential trial witnesses. Combs appeared in Jailhouse Beige on Friday and was given a moment at the end of the hearing to communicate with his mother and one of his sons. He told them, "I love you and we're good." He has pleaded, we should mention, not guilty to all 5 federal counts and maintained his innocence in the civil suit.
Interestingly, the feds have offered Diddy a plea deal. While the details of the offer remain confidential, the fact that it came from federal authorities rather than local prosecutors suggests that Diddy may have been asked to cooperate with investigators and provide information on someone he worked with. This individual is likely another high-profile figure in the music industry, most probably another record company executive. And as many might suspect, we can all take a guess as to who that might be.
And Caitlin, let's start with you. What happened, or what has happened in court today?
It was a pretty big day in court, Connell. We actually learned that Diddy was offered a plea deal in this case, which he rejected. Not really a surprise that when one was put on the table, he said no. He has vehemently maintained his innocence this entire time. I could not see a world where he would accept any kind of plea deal. So we heard that today. The other big takeaway from court, and we are in crunch time now, just less than 2 weeks before this is going to start and go to trial. The now infamous video of Diddy and Cassie in that hotel room where he is seen allegedly attacking her will be played in court for jurors. Now, the original video, the original surveillance doesn't exist anymore. So we have a copy that was obtained by CNN. Obtained by CNN, yes. And it was taken by a cell phone video. So you're going to have the person who took the video testifying in court and independent people there that are going to authenticate it. But the jury is going to see that. The other types of evidence that they're going to see is going to be video of these alleged freak-offs, these sex parties that Diddy had. And this is going to be an important thing about jury selection.
Interesting. We're going to talk about all of that in a minute. Anything on his demeanor, or anything on, from that we picked up from Diddy today?
Yeah, it was different than usual. He got into the courtroom with his pad of paper and his pen really intently ready to just take notes. And he looked back into the gallery where he usually sees a row of family members and friends, supporters of his. But when he turned around and looked in the gallery, none of his children were there today. And he visibly looked upset. Now, about 10 minutes into the hearing, his son Justin did come in and sit in the gallery. Diddy turned a second time, looked directly at him, kind of nodded and acknowledged that his son was in the courtroom today. But you could really tell that it impacted him when he turned back and did not see any kind of friendly face, Connell.
Diddy has also attempted to shift the narrative of this case, framing it as a racial issue. His lawyers have argued that the only reason prosecutors are targeting Diddy is because of his race, claiming that they are motivated by jealousy of his success as a black man. According to his legal team, this alleged racial bias is the driving force behind the prosecution.
In one, his lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, made it very clear that race is going to be front and center.
Let's switch our focus to the government. In my opinion, I'm just going to say it the way it is. No friend historically of the successful black man. Okay? None. And they start making this case, in my opinion, as a takedown of a successful black man. Here's a man who has made some of the most important businesses owned by a black man. Run, owned, created, founded. The vision was that of a black man. What have we done? We have reduced him, not everyone, but a large amount of our society, to being a monster. That should make us shake in our boots.
So, Mark Agnifilo, obviously white.
Yes.
The co-counsel is Tenny Garrigus, white. And Mark Garrigus, her dad, who we're told is going to play a significant part in this case, white.
Well, and let's remember, you're going to have at least one witness and probably a parade of witnesses of black females who are going to claim they were victimized by Diddy. And so in order to give sort of a human face to that, maybe suggest that that's not the case, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, the jury is finding cues in every piece of evidence, but also who's representing him. And if they just have a bunch of white folks sort of defending him, all those black female alleged victims are going to look like they're being targeted by his high-priced legal team.
Amidst the turmoil, sources close to Diddy have begun to distance themselves from him. Cassie, Usher, and Ashton Kutcher have all agreed to testify against Diddy in the upcoming trial. Rolling Stone has reported that Cassie is considered Victim 1 and is central to the case. Other alleged victims, referred to as Victim 2, Victim 3, and Victim 4, will testify anonymously. Unlike Ventura, prosecutors have requested that exhibits revealing their identities be sealed to protect them from media scrutiny and prevent further embarrassment.
I don't know if that's possible. Once you see that video of him putting his hands on Cassie Ventura. And for her to be the one to testify, and for her to be the one testifying on behalf of the prosecution, considering the fact that she was his lady, considering the fact that reportedly, she engaged in activities she otherwise would not have wanted to at the behest of him. When you consider some of the things that they're saying about him, and the fact that your ex-girl, with all the evidence in the world to come at you, one would surmise, is willing to do so for the prosecution. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not good.
All right, Cassie, she plans to testify against Diddy at the trial, and she's going to use her name. So a lot of the women who have accused Diddy are anonymous. They're
Right.
Jane Doe
Jane Does.
or Victim 1
Or John
or
Does.
2, or John Does. But Cassie allegedly, apparently, is going to take the stand and talk about her obviously, that tape of him beating her up at the hotel is what set off this whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, this has just made it matters so bad for Diddy. So now that she is gonna sit up there and like look him square in the eyes and talk about her side of the story, that's not great for Diddy, obviously.
No, and like I think also Cassie is a celebrity, right? Like millennials know who she was or is. She had like a booming career back in the day. So I think it also adds some extra zhuzh when you have like a well-known public figure coming forward.
Trusted
And beloved
Yeah.
too. So I think that also will hurt him. She of course became public. All of this went public when that video came out from CNN. So it's been revealed who she is already. And now she is not looking to conceal her name. She wants to, put it all out on the table. And yeah, yikes. It could be really bad for him.
One person Diddy likely never saw coming as a witness against him is Usher. Just 13 years old, Usher was sent to live with Diddy, and now new video footage has surfaced showing Usher at one of Diddy's infamous freak-off parties alongside Kevin Hart. In the video, Diddy can be clearly heard saying that he used to sleep with Usher when Usher was a child. This raises serious legal and ethical questions. How was this allowed to happen, and how could Usher's mother have permitted such an arrangement?
But don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Let's go. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. Hey, yeah.
And we want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close to the bed. But it's just like, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did.
No, I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Fresh off
the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And
What the f*** did Puff just say? Nobody's gonna acknowledge this but me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes, and we're streaming live. That was stupid.
The result of being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? We would fight. We would tussle.
Usher is in the house. Yeah, definitely, man. Say what up. Say what up, Dr. B. Say what's up. Say what's up. Say what's up. Say what's up.
Hello.
Hey, you know when I get to nephew,
Your nephew. Hello. Acting like that. What's up, bro? What's up, man?
Say what's up. Say what's up.
What's up?
Get out of here. Yeah.
Man, yeah, what's up? You been feeling good?
Nah, yeah, man, feeling great, man. I mean, you know, considering all things, I think that, you know, it's really important that we unite right now. You know, I was just, you know, there's a lot of things that have happened over the last few